Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day to all our viewers across the world and welcome to another interesting episode of the White Blood Panorama on your favorite channel, White Blood Multimedia. I'm your host, Umar Isa Dandago. Well, the United States of America is believed by many people to be the biggest and most influential country in the world. Well, economically speaking, militarily speaking, and in terms of science and technology. Well, we're not going to talk about politics, but there is one thing that many people tend to forget or don't even know about it. It's the issue of soft power. Soft power is a concept in political science and international relations, and it's dealing with the ability of a particular country to influence other people or other countries, not through force, but by, well, subtle means and admiration and some attraction and stuff like that. So the United States of America is heavily investing in this issue of soft power through its literature. Well, we have seen a lot of American movies and books and music propagating the, well, quote-unquote American dream and the good ideologies of the United States of America. Right now in Kano, and I believe in other parts of Nigeria, we have seen and we are still seeing an emergence of different groups of young people who are copying everything American, from food, dress, and even the way they speak. Well, today, my guest today is one of them. He speaks American English. He tries to copy the American accent when he's speaking. And we're going to talk about the great influence that the United States of America as a country has got on him, not politically speaking, but because of his too much exposure and consumption of American movies and music and its literature as a whole. My guest today is Muhammad Umar Saje. He is in his 20s. He finished Day Science College Kano and moved to School of Technology where he studied civil engineering. Right now he has lost interest, to say, in science, and he is trying to move to journalism. He wants to be a journalist, probably because he has this oratorical prowess and he always likes to speak. And I'm sure this has got a lot to do with his exposure to American English and other things like that. So Muhammad Umar Saje joins me in the studio. It's a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Well, I don't know. Let me put it this way. I watch a lot of American TV series. One of my favorite American TV series is 24 of Jack Bauer. We see the CTU. Jack Bauer has got Chloe O'Brien. People like Kim Raver, it's her real name. Chloe O'Brien, her real name is Marilyn Francesco. Kim Raver is, subhanAllah, this Jack Bauer's girlfriend, Audrey Raines. A lot of incredible people in this TV series, 24. And I realized that because of my too much interest in the TV series, in the film, I got to be influenced sometimes even by the way they speak, like the way Jack Bauer speaks, sometimes the way Chloe O'Brien speaks, something like that. Do you watch American TV series?
Yes, I do watch American TV series, especially those that are related to blacks and those that are related to journalism, science fiction, and many more.
Okay, so we're going to talk much about American films and music. I'm sure you might have been one fan of Tupac Shakur.
Yes, I do love music.
Okay, Tupac or Biggie, B.I.G.?
Well, a lot of them.
All right.
Even though Tupac is just from the 19th century, but we do have those from the 20th century.
No, Tupac was not in 19th century, 20th century.
Okay, 20th,
late
sorry.
20th.
Okay, I'm trying to say late
1990s.
20th, so like Tupac, like DMX, like Snoop Dogg, and a lot of them.
Oh, can you remember one viral video of Snoop Dogg talking about himself, saying, last but not least?
Yeah, I heard about that. He said, last but not the least, I want to thank me for being me, for believing in me.
And I want to thank me for being a giver. I try to give.
Yeah, of course.
Right? More than the way I take.
More than the way I take.
That one is a motivation.
Yes, of course it is.
Because it's good for someone to give than, right? More than taking.
But I haven't seen anything like that.
In him?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah.
So he doesn't give?
He doesn't give.
A lot of people revere him, regard him as a mentor.
A mentor.
That they look up to.
Well, those that were not fully educated and they're not in support of intellectualism, they are in support of anti-intellectualism.
Really?
So those might be, they think he gave something related to improvement of rap music and also things that were related to how he gonna react to people, what kind of incentives people he have got before, and how he gonna influence them to rap like him, even though he's not a good rapper.
He's not a good rapper.
Yes,
so who is the good rapper?
The good rapper, he is, let me say, people like Kendrick Lamar, legend,
Oh, really?
and J. Cole.
I don't know them. When did they live?
Man, they live.
1980s, 70s? What?
No, they live in the 1980s, but very young. And right now, they are living in this very moment we are right now.
Okay.
And they're the best rappers. They are the one taking the Billboard Award and also the rest of the Oscars and other awards in the world.
What can you say about Tupac Shakur?
Well, Tupac is one of the greatest black rappers. He's the one trying to show affection of rap music and trying to pass the message that people will perceive in terms of knowing what is happening with racism in the United States of America. And he's also trying to be like the godfather of blacks, and some of them really believe in him, and they even took him as a god because they think he's been trying to make black people talk and have the ability to do whatever the white couldn't do and do.
But he didn't use, somebody could say, good ways. He was more violent than peaceful.
Yes, that's how black people are. If you're a
Is
black,
it something to be proud of?
They were
to be violent?
Yeah, he has to be like that. Why? Because they were before treated by the white in such way that they couldn't even eat. They couldn't do what they wanted in life. They do not consider them as a citizen of the United States of America. So Tupac was rage, is filled with rage. So he need to, or he ought to do that very thing in order to show black he's not in support of the white people, because there are black people, there are, and there were in support of what? In support of the white people and in support of slavery. So because they think they do not deserve justice. They do not deserve all those things related to how white people are going to treat them.
Morally,
they deserve to be treated unequivocally wrong.
So morally speaking, is it good for someone to be violent in his quote unquote fight for freedom?
Yeah, it's, if you're not related to, let me say, if you're not more educated, if you're not ready for that, then of course you can use such kind of violent way in order to what? To pass your information through people's mind and to at least show your affection, show you what your emotion that you're not in support of that very thing.
But a lot of people will disagree with you that being violent is the solution to the problem.
It's not the solution.
It did not solve Tupac Shakur's problems. Rather, it even cost his life. It cost him his life.
But what
he was shot dead.
What's really caused his death is not a single thing.
Okay.
The first one is a problem related to record level.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
A record level means like a process, or let me say a kind of strategy you should follow in order to make albums, do new songs that people react on it, and you're gonna sign on. It's just a contract. Record level, they are the one that will take care of you if you're an artist, whether you're a rapper or you're a singer or you're a singer. So you ought to have record level before even the world listen to you. So he was at, let me call it death row, if you know about death row. So he was at the death row, so he decided to sign a contract with death row. But finally, he make his own, let me say, opinion, or he had tried to show them that he's not in support of what death row are really doing. So he decided to get...
Who was that death row?
Death row is a record level of Tupac Shakur that he's rapping, or he's bringing out his album to people to listen in order to have, or to motivate him and also to improve his own ability. So there's a person called Shock, and Shock is his manager. And Shock was in more of death row, and somehow I can call him just a hypocrite. And so he decided to let Tupac know that their contract wasn't completed. So he ought to complete that very record because he have signed for it. So Tupac Shakur said, no, I'm not going to do that. I wanted to move on and make my own record level right now because I've grown up. I get more money, I can do whatever I want. So why wouldn't I have my own record level? So Shock was planning for that very thing, to kill Tupac of not supporting his record level right now because he have grown up while death row is the very record level that put him in the way to be whatever he wanted to be a greatest artist in the world, and to even become most famous rapper. So Shaq was very angry. So the anger put him to have a support with the government in order to eradicate Tupac's life, in order to not be in support of black people and their racism.
So it wasn't the notorious B.I.G. gang that killed Tupac?
Well,
according to your version.
According to my version, it's really not the notorious B.I.G.'s gang, because it's something really, let me put it in the way, something that you couldn't understand clearly, because it is related with government and politics.
So
I don't know. That were related to government and politics, they do real shit.
And
because you couldn't understand what the real corner is, because they will move away your mind, your emotions, your thinking of how you even gonna make an investigation of how he was killed.
So I don't know. Here in Nigeria, we have been hearing different versions about Tupac Shakur's life and Tupac Shakur's assassination and other things like that. So you, in the course of your research, have you found out that it's more of mystery, it's more mysterious than simple, plain and clear, how Tupac Shakur got to be assassinated? Killed. Murdered.
It's not going to be clear to everyone.
Okay. So it will just be as it is.
Just let it as it is, because right now his money, his property, his things were not still being discovered. Nobody had known who really killed him. But at least it needs to be announced to people that Tupac Shakur was killed by our very people, or they need to signify who killed Tupac Shakur. But none of them have tried to do so.
Okay, away from Tupac Shakur, tell me two of his songs that you are very much interested in.
Well,
but don't mention the name of any that has F word.
Well, I've heard a lot of his song, and a lot of his songs really contain F words, and some start with the F words. Well, but I love this song called California Love.
California Love.
Yeah, of course.
Is there any F word in California Love?
A lot of F words.
Oh my God.
Because he was
Why do you like it?
Well, I like it because he's trying to explain the injustice that the United States of America have really done to him. He was at Compton, and they have decided to take him, or to let him move out of Compton and go to the jail in order to face the consequence of that he was accused of being of raping one girl.
That's cool. That's bad.
Yes, it's really bad, but he's not the one who does
Who did it?
Yes.
He didn't do it?
He didn't do it. But they put it on him because he's making move to the black people. So they have decided to say, okay, since this guy is a rapper, he's really he's giving misogynistic songs, and also let me put it in then, he's saying bad things to the people, or somehow he do not have any manner of talking when it comes to address
he
things.
F-words everyone.
F words everyone, and he do not have the manner of talking when accosting things related to the President of the United States. So they have decided to make a plan on cognitively what are we gonna do to this guy, that people, or that this his overshadowingness of his will be eradicated in the eyes of people, so they know what rape is. And raping is really not a good thing to do in life.
Morally speaking, religiously speaking.
Yes, if he was accused by them, or he was addressed as a person that raped that very girl, then definitely he will be, like, let me say,
so he decided to sing that song.
Yeah,
after coming out of jail?
After he was out of jail.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's cool.
So he
what about Dear Mama? Do you like Dear Mama?
Dear Mama is really a good song.
Everyone likes it.
Everyone likes it because he's talking about mother. You know, mother.
There is not a single F word in Dear Mama.
Well,
yes, no a single F word.
There's not a single word in Dear Mama.
Even though he describes his father as a coward in the song.
Yeah, because he ran away from him.
Yeah.
You don't want to raise him up.
Yeah. And this is a great problem that Black Americans have been facing in the country.
Of course.
So let's move on. Muhammad Saje, briefly introduce yourself. This is just an introduction. That was
okay. Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Umar Saje, and let me put it in the American way. Hello everyone. My name is Muhammad Umar Saje, aka neighbor, aka. You can call me, it is neighbor in English, but let's put it neighbor because a lot of people doesn't even know how to pronounce it.
No, say it the way it is.
Okay, aka neighbor, and aka Saje, aka young neighbor Max. That's
Okay,
my name.
that's great.
So I live in Kano State. I was raised by my beloved father and my godfather too. My father,
that's great.
my bloody father, my blood father and godfather too. I learned English from him and I love him, and he's my best thing that I'm gonna be proud of the whole of my life.
That's great.
The olden days are right now. And what can I say?
Is he still alive?
He is still alive.
Oh, good. So shout out to your father.
May shout out to my father, Barrister Umar Saje.
Come on.
Thank you.
He's a lawyer?
Yeah, he's a lawyer.
That's great, man.
Thank you for bringing me to this very position that I am here with White Blood Panorama, so get connected.
So does he approve of you learning and speaking American English?
He's the first person to impress me to speak the American English.
Does he speak American English?
No, he doesn't.
But how did he impress you?
You know, young people, or let me say kids, those infants, they will start to learn things when they been hearing it for a lot of days or a lot of years.
So he exposed you to American movies?
He did not
and
expose me to
cartoons
American movies.
Like
Don't say that. Don't address it that way. Listen, you're a typical journalist. My father have been bringing or have been buying those American songs to me when I was young, so when I was 7 years old. So there are some that I can remember, like Little Cat and Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
Yeah.
So at that very time I couldn't understand what little stars are. I doesn't know. I don't know what they were saying. So my father would say, Muhammad, what do you think of that very saying little? What do you think little means? I can define it. So he started telling me that they are saying little. So from that, I was influenced by that kind of inspiration, and he was telling me, man, you have the ability to learn and know what those very people are doing and saying by the same way. So I say, okay, father, I'm ready for that. And secondly, one of the greatest artists that my father loves is Michael Jackson.
Oh, Michael Jackson.
I can remember a day that my father said, Muhammad, could you really understand what Michael Jackson say with this hook? Or let me say chorus? He was saying, all I want to say that they don't want to care about us. So that very
is that what he says in the song?
That's what he said. All I want to say that they don't want to care about us. So I can understand. I couldn't understand what really all those kind of wanna. I can't get it. So I said, Dad, I can't really understand what Michael Jackson is saying. He said, no, you can understand. Just focus more, listen. Be a good listener. Because once you open your mouth in life, you tell the world who you really are. That's what he said to me. And I've decided to say, okay, let me think of what he's saying. So my father he's saying, all I want to say that they don't want to take care about us.
Oh, man.
And I asked him, Dad, what kind of connection is this? What kind of is that assimilation or dissimilation? Even though that very time I don't know what assimilation
you couldn't differentiate.
But I decided to make that very point to let's refer it as assimilation or dissimilation. So he said, no, that American English. That's what you get connected to understand what really American English is. So you got to be an intensive on that.
Upon growing up, have you been an introvert or an extrovert? Because I can remember when we were in Day Science College, I have to let my audience know that we attended the same Day Science College together. Were you then talkative?
Well, I'm talkative to those that know that I can talk. But
I never saw you delivering a speech in front of an assembly ground, even though I used to be a latecomer.
The first time I saw you, I think delivering one of the speech where you was accused by Vice.
Oh, don't say his name.
Okay. I don't want to say his name. Okay, let's move on.
But I have so much respect.
Okay.
No, say it. But I have so much respect for him.
You were accused by him.
Yeah, sure.
Because you have tried to manipulate the way you speak that very time, or maybe make a good pronunciation, and after you deliver. Yeah, after you finish delivering your speech, then he come out and said, hey, don't ever do such kind of thing. This is American English, American jargon, I don't like it. We are not here to speak the American English. You deserve to speak the way you are, all those kind of things. So I was
You're sure?
I was nervous and said, okay.
So that was why you didn't?
Yes, since this very person that seems to be an oriented, I've said something about that. And I will never try to do that. I will not.
So that incident, that very same incident, kind of, push you back, set you back.
Yes, it does. But I do speak in the class. I deliver speech in the class. I talk to my friends like Kabir, Usman Kabir, MS, my friend.
Oh yeah,
we
your
have
great friend.
cram a lot of Eminem song, and we used to rap in the class.
I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid, and no love, especially no love. We used to try and rap no love every day.
You did a freestyle in front of the students.
Of course, we did that.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
We do that.
I was in class E from SS1 to SS3E.
Okay.
And there was a wide gap between our class and yours.
I am in B.
Sure.
Yeah.
B, class B.
Class B.
The Abdurrahman's class. Yeah, of course. Abdul Wahab's class.
Ustaz and Abdul Wahab and Ibrahim Musa Kalla.
Oh
and
yes, the vice what do you call it? The vice head student.
The vice
deputy head
student. Of course, deputy head.
That's Allah was our great head student.
Yeah,
That's great.
And Allah is.
Oh, Allah is. I like him. He's a good guy. Yeah, of course, from Pagi. So let's move on. American influence. What can you say about American influence on our people, young people, generally, globally, and here in Nigeria?
Of course, you have to think before you even learn or copy any civilization.
Okay.
Because in terms of civilization, if you think that those very civilization or those people that were civilized in your eyes are the one responsible to recognize your own stagnant society, then definitely you're going to destroy yourself. But if you take it as the way that you're going to speak differently to people, as the way that you can show your people that that's what the Western people are doing, we two Africans are capable of doing that very thing. So why would you bother yourself thinking that let's English be in the same way that it has been before? Let's change the way it is. Let's be like the Americans and show people that those people do not own any power to change our culture. We're gonna be like them, and of course we can come over and we can overshadow their own culture. That is really what trying to terrify our own people right now.
You sound contradictory. Are you saying that yes, a young person can learn to speak American English without being influenced by Americanism?
Yes, of course.
American culture, American way of life.
Yeah.
Are you sure? How would you justify this?
Yeah, I can justify it because just because you speak like the American doesn't mean you are American. You do not live there. They have the chance to do or to prioritize something that is bad, while here you do not have the chance to prioritize something that is bad here, rather than good, because you are Muslim. You have to behave as a Muslim, have good relationship with the people, and of course do not bring any follows or do not see illusion rather than real.
Okay, but a lot of people would disagree with you because you're saying that it's impossible for someone to be influenced by the American culture while learning American English. You're wearing, well, what a lot of people would say American dress.
I'm really wearing the American dress because this interview is related to what? To America. So I need to show people that we're talking about America, right?
And that you are influenced by America.
Well, dressing doesn't...
Behaviorally speaking, you are influenced
when you speak like the Americans, or when you are influenced by the dress, doesn't mean you are influenced by the spirit.
Oh, really? So
yeah,
it's two different things?
It's two different things.
What do you mean by spirit here?
We're talking about learning the language. We're not talking about learning how they dress or learning how they behave or learning how they think. Because their science is different from our co-science. Then we're going to be maybe book smart. People may be book smart, but you can find them, they do not have any common sense. So just because you speak like the American doesn't mean you are American, but you have the right to speak the American English because it is the mother of learning the language, especially when you know more about phonetics. In phonetics, there's something we call speech perception and something called receipt pronunciation, and we have GEA and we have RP. The receipt pronunciation, it means to speak fluently the way the whole world will get what you say.
So it's an international standard.
Yeah, especially the British, or the British use the RP, while the Americans use the GEA.
What does that mean?
General American English. GAE, sorry. General American English. So if you wanted to learn English in any country around the globe, I really think you need to put yourself in those very ways. You need to choose one of them. GAE, that is General American English, and RP, receipt pronunciation. If you go for receipt pronunciation, then all the academics were there, and they used the RP. That's why we are accused by our lecturers. They were saying, if you speak like the American to me, I'm gonna give you carryover or spillover because you're not using the RP.
Yeah.
So, but if
did you face that? I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you face that in your former school?
Polytechnic?
Yeah.
No, I don't used to speak there. I don't used to speak to people with American English, of course.
So
but I speak to people like you
yourself?
that are really civilized and they're intellectual. They'll mingle with a lot of white people and they know how they can address the thing up. But I do not speak there. I just do my own thing. It's engineering. They do not care about how good you are. Yes, how good you are at English.
You didn't do presentation?
Yeah, because the Hausa mentality is really different from ours.
Okay, the science.
Right? Yes, if you read enough, or maybe if you read enough and you know a lot of things related to the Western culture, then of course you're thinking, your mindedness and your permissiveness and your let me put it as and say prosperity and licentiousness will change.
Oh my God, I like vocabulary. That's really cool. And let's talk about this. A lot of people have this argument that you should, as an African, speak like an African, meaning you should pronounce the English words correctly. You shouldn't copy the American English, and you shouldn't even copy the British English accent. You should maintain your African accent so that when you are speaking in a room and another person comes towards the room, he could detect that person is an African because he or she has an African accent. You seem not to believe them, right?
Okay, yeah, I seem not to believe them because this is the matter of how you get connected with the white people or how you get connected with those very American people. So I've been learning this American English and the pronunciation through WhatsApp group by my teacher called Saje Rhodes. Saje Rhodes, that's her name.
Is she American?
She is American.
Wow, great.
So she puts me on the group and I've been trying to speak the way Africans do. And she told me, Muhammad, you ought to change your pronunciation, it's really bad. I think we can have a private class with you.
Good.
I said, okay. No problem, let's have it. She said, okay, Muhammad, there are a lot of Americans inside the group, and when you're speaking, you might confess the moment of embarrassment.
Wow.
Because they can't resist how you make this very trash pronunciation.
Come on.
And
she regarded African accent as
yes, because a lot of them, yes, because most of them they were white and they are racist. So she told me, it is very simple. You have a good voice. She told me that there are two types of accent. There's the first one related to what we call the foreign accent, that is maybe you can copy from, and there's the real accent that you used to speak with.
So how did she categorize your accent?
Yeah, she categorized my accent as something that I can, at least if I make a consciously deliberate, determined effort to learn that very American English, I can really pronounce, and there are what we call vocal organs. That when you have that very vocal organs, there are about 30 vocal organs. If you have them, then of course you can speak any language around the globe.
That's great.
So you can see.
Are you still together with her, Sonia?
Yeah, I am with Sonia.
That's great.
Up to now.
You do your classes virtually?
No, I've been graduated.
Oh, really?
I'm a graduate right now.
That's great.
And she's proud of me. Yeah, of
Did
course.
you pay? Was it free or you just had to pay?
It was free.
Free?
It was free that time.
Okay. So you said that time, it means it took place a while ago.
Yes, it took place 3 years back or 7 years back because I've attended the class for about 3 years. So I've been speaking the way she wanted me to speak. So that's why it changed me, because I isolated myself. I stay at home doing voice note because it's all about voice note. You're not going to tap to them. They don't want you to tap because they want you to learn more. They want you to speak. They want you to talk. If you spend a single 5 or 3 hours without saying anything in the group, they will take you out. So that's what they really do.
So briefly before we go, we got a few minutes to go. I wanted to make reference from this book written by Muhammad Asad. Yeah, I have to say that you are the one who gave me the book, and I enjoyed reading a few chapters from the book. Its name is Islam at the Crossroads. Before I find a quote to read from the book, I got to know that because you are my friend, not because you can speak American English. A lot of people say, Umar wants to connect with American guys. But anyway, you are my friend. We attended the Science College Kano together, even though not in the same class. But I know that, I've come to know that you are good at spoken poetry.
Yes, of course.
Something that I'm terrible at. I have never written a poem. I once tried to write a poem about a girl that I once loved from afar.
Why do a lot of people wanted to write about love? Why don't you
this
write
is the norm now.
Okay.
Yeah, of course, but I don't want to show anybody that poem that I wrote. And my friend Mustafa.
Why don't you?
Yeah, don't do that.
You ought to see his poem.
No,
maybe the poem seems to be bad.
No, yeah,
or there
terrible.
are some literary
accidents, literary
accidents,
catastrophes.
yes, literary catastrophes, by the way.
Sure, of course. So please talk us through. Let's do a little bit of freestyle from your spoken word. Let's get to know something about it.
Okay, spoken word is different from.
Remember, we have 2 minutes to go.
Okay, spoken word is different. It's really different from poems and
the written poems,
other literary works. You are to say what it is in your mind, and you are to define it very vividly that people could understand.
Yeah.
Because you cannot come and use a diction that is really hard.
Yeah.
You wanted to pass information that people would have heard of it and change their way of thinking, their way of life. Because Albert Einstein said that the thinking that have brought me so far to this journey have created some problem that thinking can solve. So through maybe learning, through reading beyond your comfort zone, you can come out and make the spoken word. And I really got mine right now.
So please do it now. Look at them and do it.
Run away from this world. Remember, judgment will come. If people offered you the moon or they offered you the sun, run away from this world. Remember, judgment will come. If they offered you the moon, if they've offered you the sun, you can see people turn around. So life in this world was nothing but fun, play and amusement until it's over and done. Don't put your hope in this life. Don't put your faith in this world. No, for those enjoyment and things. If there were deserts of diamonds, if there were mountains of golds, if there were pieces of platinum to the side of the globe, more in compared to the light of your soul, they want you loses in darkness. They want your heart to be cold. They want you following them blindly until your coffin is closed. But if you know what it was worth, you will never let go.
Come on. Well, I am not a good, I'm not good at literature, but I have, thoughts, and I believe that it contains a lot of literary devices.
Yes, of course.
And the way, how I wish we have more time, we would have
to explain what does already mean. But it's really
it sounds great.
It is up.
Yeah, it sounds great, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a lot of viewers of
it's about running out of this world, or not thinking of getting a lot of money, or thinking that you may be great when you earn a lot of money.
Muhammad, before we end, there is one sentence. Still our debate about learning about American English without being influenced by the West. Muhammad Assad says, and I quote, "By adopting Western dress in place of his own," is a continuation sentence, "the Muslim unconsciously adapts his tastes to those of the West and twists his own intellectual and moral self." I don't know. Definitely we need to have more time to talk about this issue because it's kind of wide and debatable. A lot of people will agree and will disagree with him.
Yeah, of course.
Muhammad, finally, before you go, what's your final word about the program? But before then, our big boss is having a birthday this week.
Wow.
So we want to celebrate with her.
So I'm here to celebrate this.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, congratulations to our big boss. I don't know, probably she's now in her 40s. 40, 45, 46, I don't know, but she doesn't look like that.
Is she married?
I'm just speculating. Yeah, she's married. She got children, yeah, of course.
And why are you not married?
Come on, she's my boss.
I'm talking about you. Why are you not married?
Okay, now come back to my seat and let's shift.
I'm talking about married. Having a girlfriend, go to meet your wife.
Bismillah, let me have this cake.
I don't want to talk about this. That's what you're trying to eat. I
don't want to talk about relationship because
it's really defined.
My relationship
you're
is
not
kind
married.
of complex.
Somebody bought that for you.
It's my box that bought this one. Congratulations. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to continue blessing the life of our boss, Auntie Z. Zainab Abdurrahman Miagogo.
And we also pray to God that Malam Umar will get married soon.
Yeah, inshallah. I am seriously searching. Yeah.
Okay, you're single, you're searching.
Sure, of course.
Oh.
Come on, what did I ask?
That what you said?
Come on. Muhammad, thank you very much. In 1 second, what do you have to say about the program?
Well, White Blood Panorama is marvelous, it's great, it's highly important, it's educate, it's define, it's allow people to be omnipotent on their opinions, and it really does teach a lot of things that the Western people have been doing since maybe 1980s. But right now we are getting this kind of chance that you can say whatever you want. You can present your own talent.
Yeah.
You have the ability to tell people who you are and what you are. Because, you know, don't hold back what it is that you have the unique ability to offer. So that's very thing. It's a kind of goodness that White Blood Panorama
Thank you.
had, right?
Yeah. But we also want to emphasize that when learning American English, one should adopt, one shouldn't adopt some behavior patterns that are contrary to the teaching.
Do you want us to really do that right now?
Come on.
Hey, what's up everyone? How you doing? I got Umar right here, so if you want to say something, we're ready for that, right? So this is what we call the slang, okay? Ain't gonna run out of anything, and we're ready to tell you what you wanted to do. And Umar is here with me, right? And we're chilling around what we call the White Blood Panorama.
Yeah, and we got our cake here,
and we got cake, really.
Yeah, thank you.
We got cake, thank you.
So, how much? I don't know. We will definitely invite you back, inshallah.
Thank you very much.
Well, that has been my one of the funniest interviews I've ever had on the program. Well, I can remember the last one that I had was with Moner Ali Moner, Abakatipa Toranki. But this one is also a great one, an amazing one with Muhammad Umar Saje. On behalf of everyone that has contributed to the production of the program, especially my great friend, the super cameraman and editor, Malam Abbas Abdul Rahman, and the other guy, Abdul Basid also. And a big thank you to the big boss, Zainab Abdul Rahman Meagongo, who, I don't know, has clocked 20, 30, 40 years. She's gonna have to come and explain to us. The big boss, thank you very much indeed. I'm Umar Issa Dandugo saying goodbye and have a wonderful day ahead.